I think we can start. I'm passing this over to Yaroslav.
Yeah, thank you, Valeria. So, hi everyone. My name is Yaroslav. I'm a solutions engineer at CloudFresh. Some of you already familiar with me. It's always nice to see some people again on our webinars. So, yeah, let's proceed with today's topic. And today, as always, we will cover three important questions: why, what, and how. So, we will talk about the complex tasks that require a more capable AI. What can Gemini propose in terms of Gemini Advanced, and how could actually you achieve your goals with it, and how can we do it with the tools that you will be provided with. So yeah, indeed, complex tasks, they require a more capable AI with deeper understanding, bigger context window, bigger amount of possible data that could be processed. So Google here also prepared some statistics. So 31% of leaders expect substantial transformation from AI in less than a year. So as we can see, this information is from 2024, provided by Deloitte. I guess now we can say that 99% of businesses, they expect some transformation in the short terms to benefit the most out of the AI. So what are the main topics that AI actually can help us with the benefit us, and what are the tasks that they can help us with. So first of all is the solving advanced reasoning problems, when we have to put basically some puzzle together, get some data and process it in some understandable way. So we won't need to link all the dots, just pass the exact data to AI and expect for the meaningful response. Second, basically, task is drawing insights from past data. So once we have some big amount of data that needs to be processed, some documents, some sheets, in order for us not to do it manually, we'll need to rely on AI to do it. And creating customized content, like all the content that we can create in terms of our marketing companies, in terms of our product placement. It is also a big task that needs to be solved with AI. So what Google proposed about it is Gemini Advanced app itself. It's a chatbot that allows you to execute some tasks with AI. And it's also the GEMS part, a big part of Gemini customization that allows you to create some basically chats that already have some configuration or even already have some knowledge. So what Google proposed to those questions is Gemini Advanced, which helps you to conquer the most demanding tasks here. So Gemini is a multi-module model. It's also a chatbot designed to enhance productivity and streamline your workflows. So it could act like a versatile tool for some quick tasks or more complex tasks, allowing people to explore some ideas, gain insights or data, or refine their work more efficiently. So it also leverages the reasoning model to actually understand your query, your intention, not to process your prompts like plain data given to LLM models to get back with you to you with the some just generated text, let's say. First of all, Gemini is reasoning the responses and reasoning your request to actually understand what is your goal and why at all are you approaching this instrument and what you would like to achieve. So to do it, to make it possible, Gemini has some advanced AI features. So first of all, it comes from the model advancement itself. So it's a multi-model tool and also multi-language tool. It up to 45 supports up to 45 languages, and with these capabilities, you are more then welcome to work with your local languages, not to rely on some functions, some that are only available, for example, in English. Also, it is powered up by the Google search engine. So all the responses that you get, you could definitely double check them with Google search to actually see, is the data that you were provided in the response, is it really relevant to the real world? Was it found like really online on the resources, or was it just like a hallucination of a language model? Also, it allows you to customize it with the gems. We will cover it more precisely later. Also, definitely it could work with the file uploads and data analysis. And how it works here is not that just the file that you uploaded, it is not just converted into text somehow and then just smashed into the LLM context window just to expect the right answer. In Gemini, it also could be powered up by Python code. For example, if you are analyzing some big information like in sheets or some massive document that needs to be like analyzed in a certain structure, then it won't be reliant just on the AI capabilities. It also could generate you a Python code that will be executed right in your window to make sure that those data is actually calculated, extracted in the most strict way, and not just generated. And the last part is the extensibility. It means that with Gemini, we have the Google Workspace extension that allows us to somehow control the apps that we have in Google Workspace, for example, Gmail, Calendar, or any other app. So yeah, let's explore those features a bit deeper one by one. So definitely we have the file upload and data analysis. You could upload your PDFs, your Excel files, your Word files, CSV files, basically most of the data types, file types that could be converted into some meaningful information that could be passed into a Gemini in order to be processed. And yeah, for sure, some tasks that require strict approach with the exact statistic, they could be also backed up by the Python code that is being executed in the browser. The next things possible are the Gemini extensions. And first of all, we are obviously talking about the Google Workspace extensions, about the Gmail, Google Docs, Google Drive. It allows you to gain some meaningful responses from the data taken right away from your working account, whether it's a Gmail email that you received, it's a document that you're currently working in. You could easily manipulate it with the Gemini app itself. So here we got some two-sided connections. On the previous webinar, we were discussing how could you reach out to the Gemini from your documents. Now we will talk how can you reach out to your documents from the Gemini. Also about the double check function. Yeah, you can see that with Gemini, we could actually fact check all the response that we got line by line. The sentences that we had in our response, they could be checked in Google directly to see was it the relevant information actually. Also about the security. When it comes to security, Gemini Advanced definitely has you covered. We already discussed it on the previous webinars, but just to make sure everyone understands, is the main security benefit out of Gemini is that once your data coming into Gemini, it won't be shared with anybody. Not even with Google, with no marketing companies, with basically no one will get your data besides of you, and it's a crucial part in maintaining your business. Also, Gemini is constantly evolving and improving. So yeah, I could definitely agree on it. With my experience, that the features are rapidly adding, so they developing the product really quick, and I'm really sure that soon we will get a lot more that we are currently having. But first of all, how can Gemini Advanced help you elevate your work on a day-to-day basis? So here's the question that we definitely need to ask ourselves if we would like to benefit out of Gemini. So first of all, it helps team to make effective data-driven decisions more easily, since the data that we have in our work, it is taken from the internet, from the Google search engine, and it is also up to the market. So then it is always good to creative brainstorm with the Gemini and to explore the idea generation capabilities of Gemini, since it unlocks a lot of creativity and really can help us. So yeah, let's proceed with the next slide, and it is about the customizing of the Gemini. So customization in Gemini is made with the help of gems. So we could treat our gems like a custom AI expert that you can create and fulfill it with the knowledge on some exact topic or some task, basically. By defining the instructions for Gemini, you can have it help you to complete some specific goals, some tasks or workflows that are tailored like strictly to your needs. So yeah, in short, the Gemini Gems is a way to create some expert, and here the crucial part is to make this expert specific. Just like a human, the Gemini gem could not be expert on everything. So the more it be isolated in some exact task, with some exact knowledge, the more precise responses we will get and more useful they will be. So yeah, the gems, they work like agents. You are able to create them and basically chat. It will be covered on practice on our demon session soon. Also the ways to use Gemini, we will share the presentation with you, and you could get back to the videos that we have here and explore it by yourself later. But this
Specialize your
part
Gemini
we will start
interactions with custom gems.
into the demo session. So let's sum why to choose Gemini Advanced for your organization. So first of all, it's about boosting your productivity, creativity, and ideation. So it basically costs nothing to just ask Gemini an idea, a plan to follow to, for example, to build our marketing strategy or some basically any task. So it's also very beneficial to have some external opinion on something, and why not to have it from the tool that we are currently using. So it's also driving higher work quality and decision making, since we could stack the knowledge that basically would take a lot of time to process manually. And with the reasoning capabilities, we could ask Gemini to provide us some solution, some deeper insights for us to be able to make a decision more quickly and with the deeper understanding of our current situation. And yeah, also it could actually help you to learn the Gemini itself. You could surely ask the Gemini about their possibilities, how to use them, and just like that to be more efficient in your day-to-day like basic work. Yes, so the next what we would like to cover is how to research, analyze, and create some data for Gemini at scale with Gemini Advanced. And here we will start with some use cases and start it with the marketing team. Let's see how could it help in this case, for example. So for marketers, Gemini Advanced could help tackle many different types of challenges. First of all, it could help you deep research your audience and market. So marketing teams use the tool to quickly help uncover new market trends, new audience changes, demographics, the interested, their buying behavior, and all of that could be achieved by the deep research capabilities. Second of all, it could help craft and stress your test content. You could generate some content that you will use in your marketing companies that will generate you some idea how to enhance it to get it used in your marketing companies, and all of it could be achieved with Gemini really easier with just a few prompts. And finally, and Gemini Advanced is helping marketers to generate creative concept at scale. So it boosts the creative ideation by generating unique and customized campaign concepts at scale in just a few moments. So the things that could take a lot of time previously to just see will it work, now it could be generated in a few clicks and give you a chance to actually test something, and maybe if it's decent enough to benefit out of it. So here we have a few examples of prompt examples. So marketing teams, they face the challenge of understanding the audience and creating personalized experience. With Gemini, it empowers you to conduct some deep researches and generate tailored content, like tailored exactly to your customers, to your potential customers, to increase the conversion and get the better results out of your campaigns. Let's see also what is possible for the sales team. For sellers, Gemini Advanced, they leave them more time to focus on customer and deliver the personalized experience for their accounts. So first of all, it accelerates the client discovery. So they could understand the customer better and build the better relations with the customer, with the deeper knowledge of their pain points, of their market situation, and another useful data that could lead us to better decisions. It also could help them conduct some market researches, and it also could optimize their sales strategies by evaluating their, for example, sales pitch, their approaches, their sales workflows. All of it could be analyzed and refined with Gemini. Also, here we got the sales prompt example that we could input. The next team that we could benefit is the HR team. And for HR team, Gemini also could help streamline their processes. So recruiters can get their suggestion for the interview questions. They can spend more time for sourcing and scheduling the right candidates for open roles. Gemini also can create some onboarding content. For example, if you have some rules or some documents that need to be followed, some services that need to be provided for the new employee, Gemini also could generate you some tailored content to right away pass it for the new employee to get familiar with all the processes needed. And also it could definitely help you to create some training and development material for your employees. For example, you could utilize some learning instruments directly in Gemini, or generate the content to be passed for your employees to get familiar with your business better. Also, here is the example of HR prompt. And let's see what can we do for the finance team with the Gemini. So also here, the main benefit is to make our work faster and make our work more data reliant. So Gemini Advanced can help our finance team to understand the concepts and to update their financial models, for example, based on the research results. Plus, it could assess the work and suggest the improvements, like in all the communication process. Also, here is the finance prompt example that you could see in our presentation. And let's also review how could it benefit the software development teams. So first of all, yeah, obviously the Gemini could generate the codes, and yeah, it could generate the code, it could review the code, big or small. Just you could upload your repository to have it checked right away. And also in some cases it could be tested right away for some applications. For example, you could generate some mock data to provide it right away for your data expectation in your app. Yeah, and just like Python, Gemini can help with other languages. So it is available in different languages like JavaScript, C, HTML, and much more. And yeah, here we got the GEMS demo that you could refer to, but also we will cover it really soon. Yeah, exactly. Now we are going to our demo zone, and today's main goal of our demo is to get familiar with the platform, to understand is it really capable enough to fulfill our needs, and are the tools available, are they sufficient to actually help us. So let me open the demo zone. Yeah. I hope you can see the Gemini, and here we got our interface. And yeah, we also discussed some of part of it on the previous webinars, but today let's cover it in terms of strictly possibilities, what is possible and what are the maximum tool capabilities of Gemini. So in the main screen, we can see some suggestions. Yeah, the interface got changed a bit, and now we have the possibility to gain some inspiration on some example prompts that Google is proposing for us. So here we can see, and basically here are the most valuable capabilities of Gemini mentioned. So first of all, it could create images, it could write some documents, build some applications, for example, and create some videos. We discussed also with previously that Gemini has two models. The bigger model is 2.5 Pro, which also reasons the prompts you provide for them, instead of simply following your prompt directly and generate the response out of it. Gemini 2.5, it takes a few extra steps to understand your prompt more deeply. So yeah, you previously had the webinar session regarding the prompt engineering, but yeah, it's very crucial to follow to get the best results, but it's not really obligatory with the reasoning to strictly describe everything from point to point to get some decent result. With the reasoning model, we could basically talk to it like with human without worrying about the exact structure of our sentences, the roles that we are passing, and so on. So here again, just type, give me a marketing strategy for our new product, gardening kit. Yeah, so we previously discussed this use case on our model 1, as I remember. So we will also mention our imaginary Helios home gardening kit in this webinar also. And here we can see basically the reason that Gemini went through. So he was breaking down my initial request, analyzing the framework, defining the foundation, and you can see that just the simplest prompt that just a few words that I've inserted, it led AI to rebuild it for some meaningful, something that could be like validated, could be recreated in real life. And here we can see it proposed some marketing strategies, even a few options, something about our product definition, some about our target audience and personas that we'll face. And yeah, so it's not a magic that Gemini is a AI tool which works with you with the reasoning. So today we'll more like to cover the general capabilities and what else can we do with the Gemini. We a bit also discussed some deep research, the possibility to first of all go into the Google search and index the real internet data for some stuff that you're looking for. For example, it's useful for the marketing researches or some data analysis that you would like to. Also, you could create videos with Veo, new Gemini models. You also could create the images. For example, here you can see that the prompt I entered. Here's the persona that I've initially generated. Here is the product that I also generated by Gemini.
Sorry, I think that Yaroslav has some issues with the connection. Okay. While we're waiting for Yaroslav to reconnect, I would just like to let you know that gems are available only in business and enterprise plans. So if you're on starter, unfortunately, this feature is not yet available. And also, Yaroslav covered a little bit the Gemini Pro. So Gemini Flash, you have access to this capability both on starter, business, and enterprise plans. But with Gemini Pro, which gives you an extended pool of features. It's only available for up to 5 prompts a day with a starter package and up to 100 prompts a day with business and enterprise packages. And as well, with Gemini Pro, you can connect your GitHub repository and folders um, on business and enterprise. And this is not yet available on starter. Okay. Sorry, I think Yaroslav is still finding his way back to us. But I would like to. Oh, okay. Here you are.
Yeah, I'm super sorry, just a small internet issue, but here I am, and yeah, let's continue with our demo zone. I am sorry once again. So yeah, let's get back to our Gemini. I hope that you can see the right window. Yeah, it works like it's intended. So yeah, let's see what we got here. So here is the persona that I generated previously, also not existing human. I've entered the prompt to have a young woman with some granny vibes, since we are advertising the gardening kit, just like that, which I also generated with Gemini on previous webinars. So, and the prompt here was simply make the woman in the picture advertise the product in the left. And here it is. We got a picture of this woman with the product that we are advertising, and just without some really complex stuff of building some procedures, explanation how to do it, I just asked Gemini, make her care of this plant, remove the tools. And here it is. We got almost a production ready advertisement to use for our needs. We have our product, exactly our persona. For example, it could be even our signed model that we have a legal agreement to place it on our advertisement. Obviously, you have a legal possibility to use this content since it was generated by Gemini, provided for you by Google. But yeah, it could be some real human involved also into these pictures, and the capabilities here, they are super huge. Basically, it's all up to your fantasy, and we can see that it could work with the different data types. It could be picture to picture and some additional explanation with description, and still it will be processed in the right way. Okay, let's open a new chat and explore new possibilities. The next stuff we've got here is the canvas mode. So let's make us some white prompt to just showcase the canvas. Yeah, it's also doing the reasoning. And here, what is the difference between canvas mode and non-canvas mode? We will see right away after it will generate the result. And the main capabilities here is that those responses could be edited right away. So you could also get the suggestion of edits, but the general idea is to have the workplace, the canvas basically right into your Gemini app to make it also convenient to edit right away without exporting to documents or anything else. And the new feature present here, also mentioned, is the guided learning, is the feature to help you to get some learning process, just like as you would have with the real life teacher. So it more works with you with the dialogue way, and it is really focused into helping you to learn. So let's start with a simple question. What is AI? Also reasoning here. Present, and yeah, since it's a huge topic, Gemini also asked us to pick something more specific. So let's pick the first option. And yeah, something worth mentioning is the contents, the context of the whole conversation. It is directly stored in your chat, just like everywhere else, and you won't need to just explain everything again and again with the communication. You just do it in a dialogue way, like you would do with a real human. And here you can see that we are not getting blasted with some long read of what is AI. AI is this and that and that. Here, the Gemini tries to understand what is our current knowledge level and how can like we understand the things around this topic at all, to provide us with some learning paths, with some interactive way of learning, instead of blasting us with a lot of information that we will probably won't read, and still will ask the same questions, get the ton of text once again, and go in circles. Here it is mainly focused on the dialogue way to make it convenient for you to actually learn and explore new stuff. So yeah, let's also explore the interface. Still, what can we do here? Yeah, obviously we could upload the files. It could be, for example, PDF. Let's, for example, upload the Gemini 101 prompting guide that I suppose you got shared with on the prompting engineer webinar. If you still don't have it, we please reach out and we could share the prompting guide with you. So yeah, we could upload the file from our computer. It could be just a few files. It could be some different type of files. For example, it could be PDF plus PPTX, which is a presentation file. And it could be just enhanced. Your context could be enhanced with those files uploaded from computer. And obviously, since we are in a part of Google Workspace, it could work with your Google Drive right away. So you just upload files and then process them just like you would need to get some insights, to get some exact data extracted, some other data generated out of the context that you provided. And actually, it's, as always with AI, it's strictly up to your imagination and to your goals. Those two parameters, they will lead you to the right prompting and the right content providing. So first of all, you will need to think, how can I be benefit out of it? What can be processed quickly? What needs to be understood? Which big amount of data needs to be processed? And then you basically tell it to Gemini in sometimes really simple words, and you get the decent result, as we can see. So let's move to the next big part of our demo, is the gems. So yeah, we could treat our gems just like an expert. Basically, it's the same chat that we got here, but imagine that every time that we enter some exact prompt, some exact task, that we are solving now. Beside of it, we also right away pasting the list of the instructions, some rule set, some additional data. And in order not to do it each time for every chat to paste some data, why would we need it? If we could store it somehow. We could store it in a gem. We can see that Google actually had a lot of pre-made gems. So we could explore this library and see that they are really, really a lot. So some sales pitch ideator, some writing editor, some career guide, outreach specialist for some leads, some productivity planner. And yeah, those are helpful, but to benefit out of it the most, we will need to make it follow our rules, not someone else, right? So we can do it in this way. So we could take the, for example, some gem from our library, and we could make a copy out of it. Here we can see the gem, basically system prompt, the main instructions. Why is it different from the blank chat, for example? You can see here the purpose of this gem. So you are a seasoned marketing copywriter with years of experience crafting compelling content. Here, since we are doing those, since we are referring to those instructions each time that we are referring to this gem, here it is definitely the best to follow the prompt engineering rules. You can see that it starts all with the explanation of the persona of this gem has. So here he is the marketing copywriter with years of experience. Then we list our goals, overall direction of our gem, and other type of the instructions that we need to be retrieved all the time that we are requesting this gem for help. So, for example, let's explore the gem that I've made previously. Here it is. This gem is a marketing analysis bot. It has the critical points. For example, I've set it up, this marketing bot, in this way that it won't provide you some answers unless they have the whole picture and some following of strict criteria that we initially here specified that need to be followed to provide you with the exactly useful information. So let's see how it works actually. So yeah, let's open our gyms. We've opened our marketing analysis bot. We can see that it's not a new chat, but something that we already have something. So let's also speak with them easily. I would like to have a new product gardening kit for these lava lamps, for example. Once again, we see the reasoning since we chosen the 2.5 Pro. Why I'm mentioning this reasoning everywhere, since yeah, basically it is everywhere. So no matter of which part of the functionality we are reviewing here, the reasoning is also possible. So yeah, we got the response, and the gem is asking us the following information based on the instructions that we provided. So the target audience, who is the ideal customer. So let's try to fulfill it with not the best data. So target audience is all people. And let's see what will Jim say to us. And here we can see that this information is insufficient for step 1. So it asks us to clarify what is all people is too broad to create an effective marketing strategy. So here it also gives us a few options. So let's pick up. Yeah, our audience will be young and adults. Let's see what's the result. Okay, now it is acceptable. Young adults is adequate target audience, not something too broad or something not the most specific. And then we are following the next steps. So we have closed the first step I mentioned, and now we are moving to second ones. And just like that, we could, for example, process our data to make it compliant with our some special needs. For example, our internal procedures, or we are doing some products and we know that this and this needs to be covered. And for us not to have everything it just only on some mind or in some text files just stored somewhere, we could also now do it in an interactive ways to have basically the gem contain this information to in interactive way to gather the best result for our prompts and for our end result task that we are doing. Okay, regarding the gems, yeah, obviously we could do them instructions from them, how they should act, what in which cases should be done, and also we could fulfill them with some knowledge in terms of documents. For example, it is our sales consultant. I have told him to consult our customers to give them the best experience, and if their actual need is not something more than 15%, then you could offer them a discount to keep this customer happy. For example, also provided some mock data to understand what is talking about. And also I've attached our document with the products. Some of you are already familiar with this. Yes, so let's see it here. Yeah, so this file is containing our imaginary company products, also with the descriptions, some product names, prices, and so on. And what can we do about it? For example, we can see our old email thread with the customer asking for some beginner kit for their gardening. And here we could, for example, pick our sales consultant. Yeah, I hope that's the right naming for it. Yeah, this gem is sales consultant, and just ask it, propose this customer. Here you can see it got our product. It made actually some kit to close the customer need. Basically something that we will provide for the best experience. And also here it mentions, yeah, it's slightly above 250, but as we love you so much, we will give you a discount, and here's the final proposal. So instead of doing all of it manually, we could initially just mention it here and try to explain how to do it, or if it's something not that big, please make a discount, or in this case do this and do that. Or we could do it manually completely. Instead of it, we just pick up the exact gem which is the best for this need, and then we just say 3 words. Basically 3 words is enough for us to retrieve the actually some response which will do the required step to our actual processes in our business. And yeah, it's really nice to have it this efficient. And the next thing we would like to cover is the Gemini extensions. Here we would like to start with the settings, and yeah, we got the GitHub. If you are doing closely with some code, it could be also useful, but the main beneficial thing here is the Google Workspace extensions. And what they are doing, they allow us to somehow trigger the apps in our Google Workspace to get some data out of it, or to do some action with them just right from the Gemini. And here, the best would be to actually click learn more and find out what can it do and what cannot. So if we are talking about Gmail, it could retrieve your emails to check the emails, basically find some information based on the Gmail content, and summarize one of more emails. So it cannot send or generate, yeah, it generates, but cannot send, delete, or somehow modify the Gmail. It is made for the security purposes to keep the full control of the actions actually that we are doing in Gmail, since mostly it is about interaction with our real customers, with our real partners, and it is also the best to control it manually. With the Google Calendar, it could create, edit, or delete an event, so could capture some information from the events, list them to be more aware of your current Google Calendar situation. About the Google Docs, it could also read the data from the documents listed on your Google Drive. With the Google Drive, it could receive some documents and basically answer some insight of the storage situation. So what are the files? What are the recent files here? Also, regarding the Google Keep, we could create summarized notes and lists, and the same with the tasks. So someone raised the hand and we are closely to the timing. So I guess we could move for our Q&A session to cover your questions. And yeah, with the Gemini possibilities for today, it is it. And now let's move to the questions. So since I got reconnected, I've lost them. So
Yep,
Valeria, I would appreciate you
sure,
to share them.
sure. So the first question is, do you need to fine-tune the agents you create in GEMS when you like to use them in your Gemini Advanced Workspace?
Yes, so if we are talking about the like continuous fine tuning in the most general way that we are talking about the LLMs, then we are not fine tuning the model itself in this way. We are basically doing the system prompt, the instructions that come with the each request. So yeah, we could call it fine tuning, but it's not the fine tuning in the general meaning.
Okay, got it. Do you make an automation with the gems? And Dominique is referring to the specific examples that you were explaining, like for HR teams, for marketing teams, for development teams.
Mhm. Yes, so if you are talking about the automation here, what is automated mostly is the instructions that we provide and the data access of files that we provide. Since by far, so gems are not like autonomous and they need to be called either from your Gemini standalone app when you just open the Gemini app and then the gem and make a conversation with the gem itself, or it could be like called from your sidebar in Google Workspace. And yeah, those are the only way to automate it.
Hmm. Okay, thank you. Do you have something as Power BI in Microsoft? So basically, probably does Gemini provide anything like Power BI in Microsoft?
Yes, so if we are talking about Power BI in general, we Google definitely has the analysis, and it is called BigQuery. And yeah, it also has the Gemini possibilities to also it Gemini could help you to basically build the queries to retrieve some big data. Yeah, it is also possible. But if you are talking about Gemini in Google Workspace and Gemini standalone app itself, without the big tool for big data, yeah, it also can do the insights and analyze some CSV files, some basically any structured data to give you some insights. And also, as I mentioned, it could be calculated basically with the Python code, not just generated out of scratch.
Hmm. Okay, great. And the last question that I see here is, what are the features that will still come and be useful for business, the ones that you're aware of? Probably, do you know if there are any interesting features that will come in the future that will be useful, that we should expect and to be looking forward to?
Yes, so here I could give only the general response is that just like everyone, Google is moving into the agentic way. So currently, agent space is rapidly developing. Also, we will really soon have the local agent in Google Chrome that won't at all take contact with some external services, even with Google ones. It could be a completely local agent in your Google Chrome that won't even need internet to execute. But yeah, you will need internet to go to the websites. And yeah, the general answer is soon we will see like more and more agentic stuff, but with the most recent releases, we could also refer to Google resources like release calendar or some updates in blog to be more aware of the most recent changes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Um, so in case you would like to learn more about Gemini app and GEMS, you can also refer to these resources or pre-recorded demos. Thank you also, Dominique, for asking those questions. It was really interesting to explore them. So here are the resources. You will get the presentation as well as a recording after the call, probably tomorrow. So you will be able to explore them on your own time. And just briefly, if you're planning to switch to Google Workspace, if you're currently on some other provider, or if you would like to upgrade to higher plans, such as Business Standard, Business Plus, or Enterprise, you can absolutely connect with us And in case you decide to choose us as your cloud provider, you will also get a complimentary Gemini training for your team. Gemini is a very user-friendly resource or tool, but it's super important to know how to use it right. And basically, our team can absolutely help you with that. And we will tailor this training specifically to the processes and needs and preferences of your team or your company in general, depending on your request. And you will walk away with a clear action plan on how to implement these features in your workflows. And I think this will be it for today. Here's a QR code in case you're interested in this special offer for the attendees. You'll also be able to scan it after our presentation on your own time. You'll be able to find it in presentation materials, but it was a great pleasure to have you all with us today. It's the fourth module already because we started with the module 0. And next Tuesday on October 7, we will have module 4, which is going to be fully about Notebook LM. It is the resource that we're currently actively exploring in our organization, and it's super helpful because I'll give you a sneak peek. It's like a knowledge base. You can feed it with data that you need, and then you can just ask it a question, and it will retrieve any kind of data to any kind of questions that you have. So yeah, thank you very much again, and I hope to see you next Tuesday.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.